Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. You're tuning in because I'm about to tell you the 5 reasons why cartographers has been, still is, and probably for a long time will continue to be my favorite roll and write ever. I absolutely adore this game, and I'm very excited to be unboxing and showcasing the collector's edition. I got a second to breathe getting back from all the travels this last month, and I've had this ready to go for a little while. So it's a time to take a look at everything included inside while I talk to you about cartographers. Now, I've played a lot of rolling rights. I mean, Hadrian's Wall was an immaculate next step into the genre. Fleet is a perfect little engine puzzle, and Rolling Realms is one of the most impressive roll and rights or flippin' rights or draw and rights that I've came across in a long time. But nothing so far has taken down Cartographers for me. Cartographers is a roll and write game built around 2 core principles. First, the principle that in a roll and write game or a flip and write game, the art project should be central to the experience. And then second, you should always have a variable and interesting way to score and engage with the puzzle that you're presented with. Cartographers does both of these things excellently well. Her Majesty Gimnax. Recent reports confirm that your efforts to expand the Royal Council are progressing without friction amongst the southern tribes, and Sebek has become a hub of loyalists to Nalos. My heartfelt congratulations. It may also please you to know that I've created passageways of 2 of our neighboring planes, Afril and Nebulis, are now open to your royal cartographers. I expect they will make many new discoveries to aid your efforts. We will need more degorification. Don't know that word. If I am to continue my work, but you must convince Durgus to forge it. Unfortunately, some who live west of the gate have not taken kindly to our efforts. Bands of Dragul rebels ambush us regularly as we do your good work. I encourage you to send an envoy as well as your bravest to protect the cartographers from this growing threat. Urgently, Guapello, the Crafter. This is going to include Cartographer's Heroes, Map Pack 1, 2, and 3, Skills Mini Expansion, and 20 colored pencils. So, reason 1 why Cartographers is and has been my favorite roll and write of all time. It starts with this. Now, when I play, I actually use pens. I like the ink. I like the way that they draw. But right here is going to be the reason why. What other roll and write game can you think of that has a justifiable need to include a variety of different colors for you to experience the game in, with, and on? Cartographers is an art project. And as you sit down and start drawing your trees and your water, your landscapes depicting whatever it is you're exploring, you do feel like you're discovering a new realm. And depending on how artistic you can or want to be and how much time your friends are willing to give you, you can create something really, genuinely captivating and beautiful here on the map. I mean, just for a second, Google search Cartographers map artwork, and you'll be blown away by how amazing some of the drawings are. Cartographers is a drawing game that recognizes that the artwork is a central part of it. Everything is easy and accessible to draw. Simple symbols and lines, doodles that you can do, anyone could do. But if you want to get fancy to it, if you want to get fancy with it, the opportunity is always there. Now, second to this crucial element is going to be the fact that there is always a constant challenge present in cartographers. Every time you dive into a game, you are working against a escalating polyomino system. You will run out of room. You will have hard decisions between where to place your various icons, where to draw them in, how you end up scoring your different powers and abilities, and what you're going for. You see, the scoring conditions are always different. The type of terrain that comes out is always different, and the way that you interact and draw them is always different. And most cards, like we'll have here, if I can get the tab, are going to give you a multitude of choices. So not only are you making a decision between what you choose to draw and how you choose to draw it, you're also choosing what style or what version of that drawing to pick. So this deck has, some amazing artwork in it, some really great themes, and then also, this is just so nice. The artwork's so good here. And it looks like we have some new enemies that we're going to be encountering. I am very, very excited to dive into some of these new systems. There's spring, summer, and fall and winter, the stages of the game that you'll go through. But, sorry, diving back into this. There's always a constant challenge in Cartographers. It's never overwhelming. It's not a hard game, but it is a game that rewards you for thinking critically and matching your polyomino pieces as carefully and precisely as you can. Because you won't win the game if you don't. There is a game here to play. It's not just an art project. Point number 3 on my list is going to be the nature of the scoring. You see, in Cartographers, you're going to have various seasons, and each season is going to score differently. A and B, B and C, C and D, D and A, and the scoring objectives that you're going for are going to be different as well. So if I could pull some of these, Deepwood, or Heart of the Forest, Sleepy Valley, Dwarven Holes, Silos, Banded Hills, all of these score in variable ways, with variable puzzles that you're trying to solve. And every time you dive in, you have an arsenal of these various different ways to score included in the game. They have their own theme and their own style, and they change the way that you draw your map, giving a little bit of life to the art project that you're working on. But also, because they come out in a random order, and you're never quite sure how your puzzle is going to be presented to you, you always have something that's new and rewarding to engage in. It's not only a rewarding challenge and a constant challenge, it also is a rewarding scoring system. I always feel like I've done something impressive when I get a whole line or prep for round C on round A, knowing that by the time I get to fall and summer, I'm going to score a massive amount of points for those two. Or I feel like a moron when I've leaned heavily into round B, and I don't score it after the summer is over. And then it's just a little awkward. I love this point scoring, and I love the, I want to see what these things are. I love the point scoring, and I love the system and the struggle that it presents you with. Next on my list is going to be player interaction, and we'll get to that after I take a look here. Nebulous Plane of Flame. This map pack can be played with either Cartographers, A Role Player's Tale, or Cartographers Heroes. 75 map sheets, 3 volcano cards. Players collectively decide which side of the map sheet to use, shuffle the 3 volcano cards into the exploration deck. This is going to have volcanoes that are exploding, and it looks like destroying your terrain as you play, which I think sounds absolutely lovely. Very cool. So this is one of the new map packs. It's popping out. We have the Undercity. This is going to present a map pack. Players collectively decide before the game begins if playing on the advanced side, each player draws a gate in any empty space directly above the ground line of their map sheet, and we have both above and below depicted. This looks super cool as well. So above the gate, below the gate. Nice. And the advanced side is not going to have a gate, so you actually get to position and decide where that gate is going to start. And then we have Aphoril, Plane of Knowledge. This is going to introduce the concept of the Heart of the Forest and Stone-Side Forest storing cards are incompatible with this map pack, okay? Before the game begins, each player fills a connection dot between 2 islands on their map sheet. So this is setting up a series of islands, and you're drawing and mapping those various islands across your region. I'm really excited to dive into these new maps. They'll open up new doors, new challenges. I mean, yeah, this is cool. Now, I'll go through these in just a moment, but let's talk about the player interaction. So, Cartographers has something that is a strike against it for some people and a big plus for others. For myself, the nature of player interaction in the game works really well. You have these cards that pop up, and these are going to force the people around the table to start drawing on your player board. And I know, they could ruin your art project, but if they're having as much fun and being as weird and creative as you can always fix it when it gets back to you. These create problems or problem areas in your city, on your cartographer map. Zones where it's too dangerous or threatening. Points that get lost if you don't fill in and explore the area around it. And I love it. I love the fact that I get to screw with someone a few times during the course of the game, get to mess up their artwork a little bit, get to play and put something in an uncomfortable position, challenging them to rework or rethink through their puzzle. It adds a little bit of player interaction, makes the game a laugh-out-loud riot at times, and also a frustrating puzzle at others. And if you're like me and you like a little bit of take that in your puzzles, it's something that I don't honestly see many other, if any other, roll and write or draw and write or flip and write systems utilize. Nebulous. It is rumored that the forges of the ancient dwarves were connected by magic to the great volcano Asmork. As a royal cartographer, you are eager to see for yourself. Now you stand before a mountain that belches flame into the smoke-blackened sky of another world. This map could be the key to a great fame and glory if you could avoid the rivers of molten lava long enough to complete it. Undercity. Beneath Nalos' capital city, Sebek lives Undercity, a twisting labyrinth of corridors, caverns, and passageways, populated by local criminals and renegades, living on the fringes of society. No formal study of its layouts has ever been done. The Queen has charged you with exploring the Undercity's depths, locating the underground rivers, settlements, and strange mushroom forests that bloom in the phosphorescent caverns. The last cartographer never returned, but I'm sure you'll have better luck. And Zurfil. When a rift suddenly opened and strange creatures rode through on their bat-like steeds, you knew you might only have one chance to map this plane. You leapt through to find yourself standing amidst a network of purple stone archways rising from a vast gray sea. The time has come to pull out your compass and begin what will surely be the greatest challenge of your career as a royal cartographer. What else do we have in here? A few pencils with erasers, which are sometimes needed, but oftentimes ignored when I play. We have the catalog, a pile of other games that are available, and of course, the rulebook. It's super simple, and I'm looking here, it looks like there's an app that is available as well. Maybe I need to give that a shot and try too. I've thought about doing a series where I start comparing and digging into board game apps, and maybe Cartographers is a good place to start. But let's swing into the last thing that I think, the fifth category here that makes Cartographers one of my favorite systems. It's going to be the variability, the pure nature of the puzzle. And now with these new expansions, which is why I included it on this list, I have so many different ways to play and engage with this puzzle. These maps open a massive door, because I'm going to be honest, with just this map and the reverse side that has the pits, I was perfectly happy with the variability that I already had in Cartographers as a core system. The base game alone, it gives you different puzzles to solve, different ways to draw, different ways to interact with the board state, and different things that you are required to do in order to score and work through the process. It's always a fun dive. It's always a unique art project. And it's always a good time. Cartographers is a peaceful little sketching, doodling game with good strategy that'll cause you to think, and a little bit of player interaction that'll cause you to kick the shins of whoever's sitting across from you, or to the side of you in some cases. And now, with the collection, I have the option to mix this all up entirely, which I am thrilled about. So, if you're here, hopefully this has been a little bit of insight into why I love this system. Hopefully you're excited to see us bring some more coverage and content here. We're going to dive through these maps and probably bring some more content talking to you about which ones we like the most, what expansions integrate, the weirdest thing we can do with the system. I'd love to find a combination or a set of cards, abilities, maps that just completely break the game. It might be big enough now that I could do it. I'll have to dig into it, give it a closer look. Either way, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little excursion into the world of cartography. And whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.